Hello, welcome to Hurwitz Farming, and by now you should know about the collaboration auction happening here on the 1st of February. And yeah, what a day it's going to be. If you haven't seen the adverts or any other videos, I suggest you do open your social media at some point. I've got Jasmine here. We're going to talk about what you can expect, what's coming up, and why is it such a special day. Jasmine, thank you again for having me. It's always a pleasure coming this side. And you guys must be stressed and excited by this time now.
Yeah, Tinus. Well, firstly, it's always a pleasure to have you with us, and thanks for making the effort to be here. Yes, we're just over a week to go, roughly, with the collaboration auction. It's been a heart in your toes scenario to pull this one off, I can tell you. We've had every challenge thrown in the book at us environmentally, but I must say, the cattle have responded superbly. I'm super impressed with how they've responded and reacted to the change of season and the change of environment. Again, shows you the resilience of the Boran breed and what it's really ultimately designed to do. So very excited, very challenging. Some always last minute things, stresses to do, but yeah, we're on it and excited for the next coming week.
For me, the collaboration auction is almost a metaphor for what you see in South Africa as the foundation of what South Africa is. Businesses, family farms are the way things work, the way things go forward, and what makes it country work. And it's beautiful to see two family businesses coming together, having this auction together, and you're not just businesses today, you became true brands in that word. And it's great to see that you guys are able and willing and working together with such ease.
Yeah, Tinus, look, thank you for the compliment. Humbling compliment, but thank you very much. Yes, I mean, ultimately Hurwitz Farming is Jaron and myself today. Yes, we took over from our late grandfather. I think everybody by now kind of knows the story. Yes, it's corporatized, yes, it's divisionalized, but ultimately it's the two of us, two brothers working well together, have since birth, and will continue to do post-farming, maybe one day also. I don't think anything is going to change that relationship and that synergy. So yes, we get on well, we have the same vision, we have the same goals, and similarly Stompy is identical. So Stompy and Ellery, when you see one, you see the other, and you see the kids now coming into the auction environment, coming into the farming environment, certainly coming into the photos. It's a family unity environment. It's a pleasure to work with them. It has been a pleasure through last year, this year. We know them, we know the family, we know the Greater family, they know ours. We've almost kind of grown up together in this farming scenario, and it's been a pleasure to work with them. We don't even have to phone each other, truth be told. We just get on, we understand, it's nothing with too much effort. It's always a pleasure, there's always commitment, positivity. Everybody's always aligned, and all the role players involved with it also. And it just shows you that when people can work towards a common goal, everything and anything can ultimately be achieved.
Last year was a huge success. It was the first of everything, first time potjie cross competition, and people coming together the day before, spending the whole day here, and just enjoying each other's vibe, if it's the right word almost, and the music. But at the end of the day, it was about the cattle. It is about the cattle, and we spent the whole day on the farm. And you guys, once again, looking at the photos, looking at the videos, looking at the cattle. Yeah, I still have to go to Stompy, but it just looks like it might be an even better packet than last year.
Well, we had a fantastic judge, Tinus, last year's potjie cross competition. No names mentioned. But yes, last year's auction was something different. It was something new. It was something exciting. I think, the debrief of that, and throughout the whole year, people that attended, they loved it. They loved the event. They loved the auction, the atmosphere, the whole day, the teamwork, the networking, the camaraderie, the gees that was generated, the bantering, the sabotaging of the potjies, followed by, the gin bar, the beer garden, the entertainment for the kids, the summarizing it with the live entertainment. Last year we had Rian Bernardi, who graced us with his presence, and I think very popular and everybody enjoyed. And then ultimately followed by the auction, which is the event why everybody is coming for and came for. It was packed, which we were quite hesitant about whether it would be or wouldn't be well supported. 6 o'clock at night in Davel, and it really shot the lights out. The place was packed. The energy was, electric, and I think this year will probably be even better because of what's already been set up. All that foundation building blocks that was there, we pulled it off. People were happy with it. We'll come back again, I guess, this year. And we've taken that, we've built on it, new ideas, different ideas, Certainly the cattle, I think this year are phenomenal. Not that last year's were indifferent in any way, or we had some amazing animals, some red prices, but I think this year the quality, the consistency is even better, and that is what it is. It's an auction. We've got the online platforms, both of them this year joining us, Meerkat and SwiftVee. So I think to kick off the Boran year in such a way, with such an event which supersedes an auction, I think is the right way to do it. This is a premium breed of cattle, and I think that having an event of this nature is the right way to kick off another hopefully positive year for the breed.
I want to jump right into the cattle here and start talking about, you've got 2 bulls from a Hurwitz side going to the auction. Both of them are going to be a very hard pick. It's going to be what you want. I see you've now got a new thing, the breeder's choice. I'm going to get to that in a minute. But white bulls just always get your attention, especially if they're deep and they're strong and they're well muscled. When you see them in this time of year in the green grass, they just look like you have to buy them. Just give us a little bit of background of the 2 white first, and then give us a little bit on your breeder's choice.
Okay, so the 2 bulls that we have, and there's only 4 bulls on the sale, and we know that this time of year is not the ideal time to be selling bulls. So if you are going to enter a bull in a sale, it's got to be a stud bull. It's got to be something that's of value, genetic value, structural appeal that people will want to add, and still there's enough runway left in the season to use those bulls, AR programs, flushing programs, and conventional mating. So the 2 bulls that we have, the grey bull is a bull called Zastron, and the red bull is a bull Atlas. Both beautifully bred, excellent bulls, good foundation stock that they come out of, good mother lines. When you look at a bull, you look at the mother lines, you see how they've produced. So the red bull comes out of a cow, Amy. She's a full sister to a stud sire, Amarok, that we sold into Zambia a few years ago. So already there's value there that we know there's predictability. And on the grey bull, the foundation block there is Zelma, which is the famous cow to Stompy's herd. So that's a nice story actually, and it's a fitting place to have entered him onto the sale, because years ago we bought a cow from Stompy at the national sale, happened to be the highest priced animal on the sale, is a 3-in-1, and the calf that she was carrying inside is today the bull that we're going to offer on the 1st of February on the collaboration auction. Out of a bull, Mufasa, which is one of Stompy's leading herd sires, did very well in his last production auction, and I think this is another example of the genetics that's in Stompy's herd that's doing well. The fact that it's branded BH is only because it was born here, but Stompy, he made that bull and he mated that bull. An excellent bull, well-balanced, long-bodied, muscular, masculine bull. Christopher liked him a lot when he came here towards the end of last year. And then the red bull for me is an out-and-out stud sire. He's almost faultless, he's a block, he's heavy, he's well-balanced, he's wide. He's certainly a bull that I think could take a lot of herds forward, very balanced, and I think he's a reg marker, if there is such a statement. Within 1 year, 2 years, you'll see the value of what that bull can bring to the party. And he's also half brother to the bull Black Star, who we sold last year also for a lot of money. And again, the consistency of how those bulls are breeding, which makes me feel happy, because I picked the sire, it's a bull we call Tarzan, as a young bull. At a national sale, was one of the last bulls on offer in the sale. He didn't go for much money. I think by that stage maybe people were tired or had missed him. I saw something in him, and look what he's breeding for us. Tremendous bull. So very excited about both of those bulls, and I think Stompy's got some nice bulls that he's going to offer to the market also. Yes, you're quite right, the white animals, they do sparkle, they do shine, but the breed shines. We're not a color specific breed. The Bonties are nice, the white ones, the red ones, they're all nice, and they certainly have to be functional animals and true herd size. I must also say, a lot of the grey bulls that we use in our herd, they don't necessarily breed grey, and that's the variance in the breed.
Oh, Boran doesn't do that. All done born doesn't mean you're getting born at the end of the day, and that's makes it special to breeding with these animals. We just walk through you just look at the calves on the sale, and the heifers, especially, they do always stand out and they're next to their mothers, and they just look like, sure, you almost want to buy the package just because of the calf. And that's sort of been a focus for you, and I see on Stompy's side as well, focusing on making sure that what's next to the animal is also proper stud animals, and not something that you might keep or might not keep. And like I said, buying a bull or something from Stompy, and a few years later down the line you can sell it at an auction, that is what you want to give your buyers.
Yes, 200% correct. I mean, the genetic potential in the herd is exactly what we're offering, whether it's involved in the adult animal or in the calf. The genetic potential is there, the future is there, and the product is there. So the calves at foot are a recipe of exactly that breeding program, our side and Stompie's side. If I look at the calves at foot and the sires that they come out of, world-class sires within our herd. I know these animals backwards, obviously, but not the whole market knows them because, truth be told, the only time you know a bull is when you sell a bull. So just because Cyclone sold, and we sold them for a lot of money, last year, a lot of the calves at foot are from his full brother, Casanova. Now, we sold Cyclone, we retained Casanova. It doesn't mean one's better and one's worse. It means the genetic potential is there. So now, it again represents the opportunity for the market to invest in those genetics. There's a calf at foot out of another sire who we call Jaffa, who's a combination of Jasmine and that bull Tequila, those rare genetics. And a son of his sold on our previous auction for the record priced cow and calf in South Africa, and again the same sire made that little baby bull calf, and now he's made a heifer calf on the sale as well. So the names are there, the genetic potential is there, and the package is there. And the mere fact that so many of these animals are young animals is again testament to the fertility of the breed. A lot of them are 3-in-1s, having been AR'd. They're also running with bulls, so some early pregnancies to still come, some bonuses. But what the guy gets, what the buyer gets is the package. He's not only buying the cow, he's buying the whole picture. And there's been many times I sit on auctions myself and I actually buy the calf and get the cow as the bonus for free. So when I buy, I certainly have my eyes wide open when I sit in an auction and I do my homework. And I'm sure today the buyers do the same. It's an educated market. It's not a potluck story. So when people come to a sale and they know what they're looking for and what they want and how they're going to improve or enhance or add value to their herd, it's the whole picture that does the talking. But true to form, the calves at foot on this particular sale are fantastic. I mean, case in point, there's 2 calves from our offering side out of a sire that we call Javelin. Now, Javelin is a full brother to Jumbo, Jester, Joker, all those chaps that we sold. Those are the famous ones because we sold them, but Javelin is an unknown. But people are asking me who's Javelin, but wait till they see the 2 calves, they all want to know about Javelin. So that's really the recipe of the stud breeding. That's the recipe of how it works. And when I see the whole package come together, one of the females on offer, not any cow can breed a bull. So when you see this cow who maybe looks a little ordinary cow that's not going to do much in a herd, but if you see what's standing next to her, it's phenomenal stud breeding and genetic balance that's coming together, and that is what Stompie and I, try to do every day of our lives, actually.
Just before I let you go, we're going to stand still at the three animals that we saw today. So I really caught my eye as I walked in. There's always an animal that catches your eye, and that's it. We start with, I think it's 23114, if I'm not mistaken. An absolute beaut, and what's next to her might even be better in the future. And that is what you're buying. You're buying into the future. And in saying that, it's my question with these 3 animals, and you can discuss them as you go on. You've always been keen to buy the best at an auction. Keeping buying what's left isn't always the best policy. Those are the sort of animals that take you forward in no time.
Yeah, tennis. I mean, you're talking about Dorothy. She's lot 10 on the sale. I think for me, she's a standout animal. True to form, we always have 1 or 2 of these standouts, in my opinion, on an auction that we don't want to sell, but yet we kind of forced to sell. And for me, she's that. She is the Dorothy line, very well known within the breed already. I mean, Stompie himself bought the Dorothy from us on the August auction. A beautiful cow. She's just recently calved. I think she had a stud sire, baby stud sire with her at the time. So this is again out of the same family, a family that really needs to be flushed. Well, on the sire side, it's Hublot. Household name within our herd, household name within the breed. A super sire who bred them both ways, a hell of a, some top sires and sons. They're all over the world now, actually, from Zambia to Zimbabwe and everywhere else, including here, obviously, in South Africa. And then his daughters have always been tremendous. So this cow is, another example of all of those genetics and all of that passion that's come through together. And the Hublot daughters and Hublot progeny are drying up because he's no longer with us. So take advantage if you still can. And the calf at foot is out of that bull Jaffa, which I mentioned earlier, which is Tequila and Jasmine. So here you've got the Dorothy and Jasmine lines together. You've got, the banker with Hublot with the rare genetics of Tequila. And look at what the calf looks like. Long-bodied, beautiful, magnificent born calf, who maybe is going to be even better than the mother one day. And just showing the fertility. So we went and we AR'd the cow with Cyclone, and we actually used semen on Cyclone, heifer semen, and she took first time around. So now she's confirmed 2 months pregnant to Cyclone. And what a combination that's going to come out of there. So I think she's definitely a standout for me as far as the sale is concerned, and a standout package. But there are others, make no mistake, there are some top quality cattle on the sale. Not everybody's choice is everybody's choice, of course. So what I like and what somebody else doesn't like is true to fair. That's freedom of choice. But I think lot 10 for me is a superb package.
One of the female lines that's always done very, very well for you is a Jasmine line. It's done well everywhere. You can almost look at every second catalogue will have a Jasmine somewhere in there. Once again at your auction, I think every auction of yours got to say is a Jasmine line. It's just a line, especially on the female side, they just keep on providing you that females that delivers.
Yeah, you're right. On this auction we also have a Jasmine, but this one actually makes me more excited than the previous ones. And the reason is because this is a daughter of a Jasmine that we have. So the previous ones that we've sold have been direct Jasmine progeny. The old cow Hot 1024, yes, still alive and producing, etc. But this is now a daughter of that animal with corn. So the mother of the lot on offer, which is lot 6, is actually out of a full sister to Jumbo and all that whole trilogy of brothers. And this time paired with another bull that we put on top of her, which is a combination of Ginger, that famous line, and 717. So we have 717, Ginger, plus Jasmine, plus corn. Look at the results. And even more exciting for me, I'm getting like goose pimples just talking about it, is the heifer calf that's standing next to her. And the heifer calf is out of Bismarck. There's a bull that we bought a year and a half ago. Certainly our highest price bull that we have on this farm, and this is his very first daughter. There's a few of his kids on the sale, but this is the very first one that enters the ring, and if this is how he's breeding, then it was an investment that I think will pay off nicely in the future, certainly breeding nicely. But yes, the combination now of throwing Bismarck onto Jasmine with corn and Ginger 717, and look at the results, and still possibly a 3-in-1, phenomenal. And that's why I get more excited about this one, because to create direct Jasmines is wonderful, but to now taking those genetics a generation further and 2 generations further with the Bismarck heifer calf is a testament and quality to I think the goals we're trying to do here at Hurwitz Farming.
Yeah, the last one, and I think it's lot 2. She caught my eye on the photo actually when I saw her. So when I came here, I was actually looking for her. But once again, it's just what you want to see when you walk into a Hurwitz farm, is that sort of quality coming through. It's a name that I don't know, and I can't remember the name now. I think you're going to help me soon. But where does she come from? I didn't recognize. I know it's an H line, so there's some connection. But where does she come from, and what are they reading?
Lot 2 is an older cow, but older for the sale. But I mean, it's not an old cow. So she's a 2018 bred. Her name's Batsheva. That's where she comes from. Her parents is 717 direct. So that legendary bull within the breed, direct 717, there are not too many of those running around and certainly being sold. And on the dam side, an old cow TLMO 514, who we got out of Elif Miller years ago when we did a heifer transaction with him, and some old tunnies at the same time for flashing purposes. TLMO 514, the Batsheva line, we've sold a few of them already. The bred bulls, was a magnificent cow herself. And this particular animal on the auction, I think, is also an excellent representation of what the Boran breed is about. But the heifer calf standing next to her, I think, is the real beauty of the package. Yeah, and that is a Javelin heifer calf. Now, as I said, Javelin is the full brother to Jumbo. So just mixing and matching and playing with the genetics, but it's almost becoming like a no-brainer. Being able to use the herd size that we have at the moment, which we are blessed to have, with the AR opportunities which we have, and obviously the flashing opportunities to come, and then to create and produce cattle of this quality for an auction. It's just an amazing compliment for what we're trying to do here. And yes, lot 2, Batsheva, and through the bank, it's 34 lots on the sale, and every single one of them is a top quality lot. I mean, it's also, you don't get it today that 100% of the females on offer have got calves with them. 100% often, yes, and the majority of those are already 3-in-1s. So really, it's a true test to Stompy and myself. The ability to share the herd, share the genetics, and the buyers know with confidence. They're buying from families, like we touched on. They're buying from reputable breeders with aftermarket service, backup service, and there's the marketing that goes with it. And if you want them, you got to be here.
You do cater for everyone. It's a huge day. People need to register, and they need to register on boranauction.co.za. That's the only way they can be here. And that's quite important. People need to realize organizing this whole event, making sure you've got a place to park, a place to eat, a team to potjie with, that all is part of the package, so they just need to go there. And it's just to help you managing the day.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just to determine access control, catering requirements, who's coming and who's not, etc. It's not new. We've been doing this for many auctions now. People are used to it. Simply click on that website and it really takes no longer than 30 seconds to just fill out the particulars. Most of the time it's auto-filled anyway, I think. It's very simple. We get the email, we get the response, people are approved, people ask questions, etc. But yes, it's to streamline access control. It really helps with the security procedures. It helps with biosecurity as well at the gate. It's a necessary step and it's working well. And yeah, please, if you want to come to the sale, warrenauction.co today. Alternatively, Meerkat and SwiftVee will be the online broadcasting and platforms to bid on.
If you really can't be here.
Yeah, no, but you got to be here. You got to see and appreciate these animals for yourself.
Simeon, as always, thank you, and you'll see at the auction.
Thank you, Dennis.
Okay, and there you have it. Make sure you're here on the 1st of February, and it's gonna be a spectacular event as always. It's the whole vibe, it's the people, it's the cattle, it's the potjie, but at the end of the day, it is a Boran family, and it's always nice to be among family. Until next time, cheers.